guys, we want to do a quick video. We're always being asked, what are you reading?
What are you reading?
Well, and since I write reading.
I do.
You read writing.
I do.
You write reading. You read writing. I write reading. We wanted to show you guys what we're reading right now. And it's a never-ending pile of stuff that we're trying to get through always. I only brought a couple of things in.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we get this question asked to us quite a bit, and we have quite a few friends of ours that write books also, so it's one of those things. I mean, a lot of the writers that we have that write for the Survival Dispatch Insider are authors.
Are authors, yeah.
So it's one of those things where we get these questions asked all the time. So what we did was we just grabbed a couple books. These literally came off of my nightstand next to my bed.
Yeah.
So it's not like I pulled them out of my library.
Bookshelf, no.
This was off my nightstand, and it gets eclectic, but we kind of kept it in the survival and prepping market.
Yeah, it can get a little weird. I mean, I don't read survival fiction because I write survival fiction, and I don't want other people's ideas getting into my head or to me to be, stealing their stuff. I don't want, accidentally even, if I don't intend to. So I avoid reading the stuff. But what I do read is a lot of the how-tos and that kind of thing. So, one he and John and I both are reading right now is one that's been out for a long time, can be hard to find, but A Failure of Civility. Some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not. This is an enthralling read. It'll keep you captivated for hours. Actually, this is
you'll only read about 4 pages
at a time, just because it's so exciting. I mean, this is a slog to get through, but this is packed with very valuable information.
The thing with A Failure of Civility is it's more of a training manual-esque writing instead of an action-packed.
No, this is a how-to.
It's a how-to,
yeah.
And it's all about protecting your neighborhood, defensive situations and things that you might find in a neighborhood, patrolling, things like that. Fantastic read, tons of information.
Tons of information.
I'm going through it the second time, just because you pick up on new things.
Yeah, you read them again, you forget things, and like you said, you pick up on things you never read. Where did we get these from? Can you remember the place where we got these from?
I don't.
We'll get a link posted to where you can get this, because this is out of print, I believe, and you'll see copies on Amazon for $1,000. Don't buy those.
Don't.
We bought them for $58.
Yeah.
I found a link, and John and I both ordered it.
So what we'll do is if we can find the link that's still active, they have books, we'll leave it.
We'll try to post it.
All of the other books that we'll talk about, they are on Amazon, so we'll leave links for those below.
Yeah. So what are you reading? All
right, so I kind of picked 3 different genres. I had a stack of books that I've been reading. The first one, our buddy Charlie Hogwood's new book, The Unraveling, fantastic fiction-based, and I tried to pick different categories so it fits your guys' needs. But if you're looking for a good fiction book, a fantastic story that Charlie tells, And
you guys probably recognize his name. Charlie writes for the Survival Dispatch Insider. He does videos with us. He's a great guy, good friend, extremely knowledgeable too.
Yeah, so. and that's what's the cool thing about this book. Same with Chris's books and a lot of other ones out there, is Charlie's able to put tidbits of information that are actually usable in a story format.
Makes it enjoyable.
If you can pick it out. So The Unraveling by Charlie Hogwood, fantastic book.
Yep.
Go check it out.
Yep.
Next.
I'm reading right now this one, Spencer Bolejack. This is the Appalachian Ninja. Spencer's a good friend of mine. I get to see him about once a year up in North Carolina. He used to be on a TV show, Hillbilly something, I can't remember what the show was called, with another fella, and it was a cool show to watch. It followed these guys around the mountains, and they were always having an engineer come up with something from nothing. And Spencer has a very interesting past. He's a martial artist. He's also very knowledgeable of medicinal edible plants. And this book covers everything. I mean, from medicinal and edible plants. It's got a lot of really nice color photographs in it. Let me see if I can find some of them real quick. On plants and whatnot. But it goes into everything on land navigation using GPS.
Yes. And I will say most books, if they have plants that aren't in color,
it can be hard to do. I mean, to stripping bark, to building shelters, to making wood tools, to everything. Spencer did a really good job with this book. For anybody in the Appalachian area, I highly recommend you get this, because this is regional specific, but there's nothing wrong with reading stuff outside of your region. There's crossover too. I mean, the plants on that page I was showing you, several of those grow right here in Florida. So this is conscious survival, he calls it, but it's the Appalachian Ninja, Spencer Bolejack, great friend of mine, and a good book. It's a really good read. He did a fantastic job on this. So I'm actually enjoying reading this one.
My next book I'm going to go with here is it's The Sheep No More. This is written by Jonathan Gilliam. You've seen this guy, if you watch like Fox News, he's on there a lot, if there's a shooting or something like that. Former Navy SEAL, former FBI special agent, just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
That kind of guy. And this whole
Tier
book,
1 kind of guy.
And this whole book is really about situational awareness, dealing with situations and things like that, from a dude that has been in situations. So really cool read. Everything that I've kind of read up on him also that I really like.
Well, and that's kind of a good lead into the live we did a minute ago, where somebody asked, how do you deal with the fear or the panic when you're in something
stressful
happens?
Situation, yeah.
Situational awareness will help with that. Be a good read for those that ask that question.
Yeah, and it's just packed with personal security, kind of detail, situational awareness, what to be looking for when you go into a restaurant or a hotel or something like that. So tons of good information. And then the last book, this is kind of I'm going to say more along the lines of a training manual, is Wilderness Navigation. This is by Bob and Mike Burns. It's really cool because it goes kind of over everything. Maps, the details of maps that most people are like, what is that squiggly line?
Yeah.
They tell you what that squiggly line is and what it does and what it means. All the way to how to use compasses, how to set, because there's so many things, like most people don't even know declination on a compass. So just really breaking down compass work, breaking down map reading. And they got some kind of like tests and stuff in the back. So when you read it, you actually figure out if you learned it or not. Because there's a difference between reading and learning. So figure that one out also. But a really good book, really good pictures. And, it's one of those things, though, where literally I had my compass wrapped. I had one of my compasses, the lanyard on it, as a bookmark. Yeah. So, when they started talking about, like, this is how you use...
You can look at your compass.
Look at my compass.
And a great thing for this, too, a book like this, if you don't... Everybody needs to know how to do this. I don't care who you are, you need to know how to do this. But then you're going to say, well, I don't necessarily need to do it.
You can see the pages are messed up.
Yeah, I can see. You're actually reading this one. But there's orienteering clubs. And if you've never done that, it's really cool. You can go out to an orienteering club. They'll set up a path series of objectives you need to find. And basically they give you a azimuth and a distance. And you've got to get to these places and check off that you've been there and do whatever. And that's how you can put this into practical use to really learn it. And it's a great way to do it fairly safe because there's going to be other people out in the woods and these things aren't that difficult. But it's a great way to put the skills you learn in something like this into
And the reason why I'm going back over this is I'm doing an ultra marathon in a couple of months. And it is a non-land marked ultra marathon.
Oh, really?
So use a compass, use a map. Best of luck. So
take that Garmin with you.
So kind of catching up on some of my map skills just in case there's a Garmin issue. But that's one of the things though is, guys, there's so much information out there. We always want to look to the internet for our answer. And the internet's a fantastic source. But there's a lot of fantastic books out there. Even if you don't catch most of these two books are not a good audiobook. Don't buy them,
This one would probably be a good audiobook.
It's just hard to imagine.
This is not a good audiobook.
It's just hard to imagine.
The other ones I'm reading right now, which I didn't bring, you can't get them on Amazon. Go to Mountain Gorilla. You look up Mountain Gorilla, John Mosby. I'm reading his Reluctant Partisan, volumes 1 and 2. They're a lot like Failure of Civility. It's just another take on kind of the same information, but you can't read enough of that stuff when you're planning how to defend your home and your family. So Mosby's a great guy. Mountain Gorilla, look him up online. Extremely smart dude. Highly recommend him too. But you cannot get his stuff on Amazon. He's one of those
old school
knuckle draggers that does it, seriously old school.
So if you guys got any other questions or comments, suggestions on books that we should read or other people should read, feel free to leave them in the comments. And, always be reading, always be learning. Until next time, be safe.
Take it easy, guys.